Listen carefully, because what I'm about to tell you is something America once knew, but slowly, quietly forgot. There was a time when this nation wasn't built on noise, but on focus. When men and women didn't rush to speak, they listened. When honor was measured not by what you said, but by what you kept silent about. When the measure of a man was not his followers, but his discipline. And when the strength of a nation began, not in its politics, but in the silence of its people. America's power wasn't born from chaos. It was born from character. From the quiet determination of people who believed in something greater than themselves. They didn't need the world to see their struggle, because their faith already knew the outcome. Today, we live in a time when everyone wants to be seen, but few want to be centered. When everyone wants to be heard, but no one wants to listen. And that is where peace has been lost. You see, true power does not shout. It listens. It observes. It endures. It walks slowly while the world runs in circles. And that is where your transformation begins. Because deep within you there's a version of yourself that's not desperate to prove anything. A version that no longer needs applause to feel alive. A version that understands the greatest victory is calm. That is the version I came to speak to. That is the version waiting for you to rise. Pause for a moment. Let that sink in. All the noise you've been chasing, the validation, the approval, the endless comparison, none of it ever built strength. It only built distraction. You've been busy surviving when you were born to reign. You've been chasing things that were always meant to find you once you became still. You are so precious for being here right now. The fact that you clicked and chose to watch this shows your hunger for truth. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear is not just knowledge, but life for your soul. Please subscribe, like, and share this message, so that others just as precious as you may also find this light. Now breathe. Feel that moment between inhale and exhale. That stillness, that silence, is where everything begins to change. Because when you stop chasing the world starts finding its way back to you. When you stop reaching outward for validation, you start rising inward with strength. That is what the Stoics knew. That peace is not found in control, but in surrender. That success is not about conquering others, but mastering yourself. And that when the mind stands still, the heart begins to heal. Look at America today. So much light, so much potential, but also so much noise. The same nation that once stood as a lighthouse to the world is now drowning in its own waves of distraction. But the spirit that built this land, it still lives. It lives in those who choose stillness over shouting. It lives in those who dare to reflect while others react. It lives in you, the one listening right now, because somewhere inside, your soul knows peace is power. Maybe you've been tired of trying, tired of explaining, tired of pretending you're fine while you're quietly falling apart inside. Listen, that tiredness isn't weakness. It's the signal of your awakening. It's your soul asking you to come home. Because the truth is, you don't need more things to fix your life. You need more focus. You don't need more attention. You need more alignment. And once you return to yourself, everything begins to fall into order. When you choose peace over pressure, clarity over chaos, faith over fear, you begin to attract everything that was meant for you. The job, the love, the purpose, the strength, they all align naturally when you stop running from yourself. So let me remind you, you are not lost. You are just surrounded by noise. And the moment you find your silence again, you will find your strength. Because everything begins to fall into order the moment you do. The center that holds, America was built by men who learned to hold their ground. Through storms, through loss, through war. Not because they were unshaken, but because they chose to stand while trembling. They understood something we've forgotten, that strength isn't the absence of pain, it's the decision to remain standing despite it. There was a time when the soul of this nation beat like a steady drum, when men worked the fields with blistered hands but peaceful hearts, when women prayed by candlelight, not for fame, but for the strength to love another day, when children grew up knowing that the world would not always be kind, but that within them burned something greater than fear. That was the America built on focus, not distraction, on silence, not noise, on discipline, not display. But look around today. Everywhere you turn, attention is currency. Noise has become the new prayer. People worship at the altar of validation, forgetting the sacred temple that lies within themselves. The Stoics warned us about this. They called it the sickness of the scattered soul. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." But we've done the opposite. We've given our power away to headlines that steal our peace, to strangers who judge our worth through a screen, to fears that were never even ours to begin with. We chase opinions and lose ourselves. We scroll endlessly but never sit quietly. We live loud lives but whisper when it comes to our truth. Yet in all this noise, a whisper still calls to you, the same whisper that guided every great soul before you. It says, return to your center, because focus is not about shutting the world out. It's about remembering that you are the world within. When you take your eyes off the chaos and turn them inward, you'll find the order you've been praying for. And that's the moment you realize peace was never missing. You were. It's easy to blame the world, to say America has changed, to say people have lost their way. But the Stoic knows nations don't lose their way. People do. And when people find their center again, the nation heals with them. So this is not just a message. It's a mirror. Look into it. See the reflection of the person you were meant to be. The one who doesn't chase applause, but purpose. The one who doesn't need to prove their worth, because they've already met their truth. The one who rises each morning and says, I am my own homeland. I am the keeper of my peace. And no nation, no chaos, no failure can conquer me again. Because when your mind becomes your homeland, you carry freedom wherever you go. You stop asking for the world to change, and you start becoming the proof that it can. So take a deep breath. This is your call to return home, not to a place, but to yourself, to that sacred stillness inside you, where no headline can shake your faith, and no failure can define your worth. And as you rise again, remember this: focus on yourself, not to isolate, but to illuminate. Because when you become still, the world begins to listen. When you heal yourself, you heal the space around you. And when you master your own mind, you become a living fortress, calm, unbreakable, divine. This is the center that holds. Please subscribe, like and share this message so that others may also remember their strength and return home to the center that never falls. The discipline of freedom. Every empire that forgot discipline collapsed. Every soul that forgot stillness broke. The ruins of the past whisper the same warning. Freedom without focus is just noise wearing a crown. America once knew this. Freedom was not free. It was forged. Forged in the heat of war, in the silence of prayer, and in the discipline of those who refused to bow to chaos. The founding fathers did not build a nation on comfort. They built it on restraint, on sleepless nights spent writing words that would outlive their own flesh. They didn't seek followers, they sought truth. They didn't chase comfort, they chose courage. Because freedom, true freedom, demands discipline. But look around today. Everyone wants to be free, yet no one wants to be still. We crave liberty, but reject the silence it requires. We talk about rights, but forget responsibilities. And in that imbalance, freedom starts to decay. Like a great city with no walls, it becomes open to every storm. The Stoics knew this. They taught that freedom was never about doing whatever you want, but mastering the part of you that wants everything. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Let that sink in. No law can grant it. No flag can guarantee it. Only the soul that governs itself can ever know what freedom truly means. So if you want to reclaim your power, start here. Wake up earlier, not because the world demands it, but because your soul deserves a moment before the noise begins. Speak slower, because wisdom does not rush, it arrives in calmness. React less, not out of weakness, but strength. Because when you control your reactions, you control your destiny. And listen more, because silence is the sound of strength maturing. That's where transformation happens, in the small, unseen choices. When you choose patience over pride, stillness over chaos, purpose over noise. That is where your freedom begins, in discipline. Every time you refuse to argue with ignorance, you are building peace within yourself. Every time you forgive instead of retaliate, you are proving that your spirit bows to no one but truth. Every time you choose to stay calm when the world shakes you, you are writing your name among the wise, not the weary. And isn't that what America was meant to be? A land of the free because of the disciplined. Not freedom to destroy, but freedom to build. Not freedom to shout, but freedom to choose silence when it matters most. The Stoic and the American spirit were never separate. Both believed in endurance. Both believed in accountability. Both believed that real power is not in control but in self-control. You see, the undisciplined man is a slave, not to chains, but to impulses. He lives in constant battle with himself, blaming others for a storm he created. But the disciplined man, he walks through chaos, untouched. He speaks with few words, but with eternal weight. He is calm when others panic. He stands when others fall. And that calmness, that unshaken peace, is the highest form of freedom. So focus on the small disciplines, the quiet victories, the unseen moments when you choose control over comfort. That's how nations are built. That's how souls are saved. Because freedom is not a flag on a hill, it's a fire inside your chest. And only discipline keeps it burning. The Stoic knows this truth. America once knew it too. And maybe, just maybe, through you, it will remember again. You are the revolution the world forgot. Not one fought with weapons, but with wisdom. Not one won by armies, but by awareness. So hold your ground. Sharpen your mind. Guard your peace like the last sacred land on earth. Because when you master yourself, you master the world around you. And that is the discipline of freedom. Please subscribe, like, and share this message so that others may remember what true freedom feels like and rise again in the strength of their own stillness. The quiet fire. There's a fire inside you. Not the kind that rages, but the kind that remains. It doesn't demand attention. It doesn't roar for the world to notice. It simply burns, slow, steady, eternal. It's the same quiet fire that built America. The same flame that guided those who crossed unknown oceans, with nothing but faith and courage as their map. It's the same fire that carried mothers through hunger, soldiers through fear, and dreamers through nights that felt endless. But that fire, my friend, is not chaos. It is calm. It is purpose under pressure. It is light under silence. It is the kind of strength that speaks only when necessary. And even in silence, it moves nations. The Stoics called it euthymia. It means alignment, the peace that comes when your purpose finally meets your path. When your life stops being a reaction and starts becoming a direction. In that sacred space, you no longer chase anyone. You no longer beg for belonging. You stop trying to prove your worth because you feel it beating in your chest. And that's when everything changes. When you focus on yourself, not to isolate, but to elevate, you begin to rise in ways no crowd can witness. You begin to shine in ways no camera can capture. The world looks and wonders, "What happened to you?" And you'll smile softly and whisper, "I stopped fighting the storm and started becoming the sky," because that's what the quiet fire does. It doesn't need to rage to change the world. It simply burns, pure, patient, unstoppable. Look at the Statue of Liberty. She stands tall, even when the winds of time try to erode her. She doesn't move, she doesn't shout, yet every person who looks at her feels something. Hope, reverence, peace. That's what true strength feels like. It's not loud, it's alive. Be that kind of fire, the kind that doesn't beg for air, but creates its own. The kind that doesn't destroy what's around it, but refines what's within it. America is filled with noise, arguments, headlines, endless scrolling, endless wanting. But amidst all of that, imagine being the one who carries silence like armor, who speaks less but means more, who walks slowly but leaves echoes behind. You see, focusing on yourself isn't selfish, it's sacred. It's remembering that your inner world creates your outer one. And when your inner world burns bright and calm, everything around you starts to find its order. You become magnetic, not because you try, but because you are. People will feel peace in your presence. They'll feel seen, even when you say nothing. They'll sense something rare, a man or woman who is not moved by the wind. Your silence becomes your statement. Your calm becomes your charisma. Your focus becomes your freedom. That is the quiet fire of the Stoic. The same fire that Marcus Aurelius wrote about as he stood in the chaos of Rome and still found peace inside his own soul. The same fire that made Epictetus, a man once enslaved, freer than his masters. You have that same flame. It's in your chest right now, waiting for you to stop seeking and start seeing, waiting for you to stop running and start rising. So tonight, when the noise of the world tries to take you, pause, close your eyes, breathe, and remember the fire that built nations lives quietly in you. You don't need the world's approval. You just need to keep your flame alive. Because the moment you do, everything else begins to fall into order. And the world, in all its chaos, will look to you, just like it once looked to those who carried this nation's dream. And it will whisper, "That's what strength looks like. That's what peace feels like. That's what freedom truly is. That is your quiet fire. That is your victory. That is you." When everything falls into order, you'll notice something begin to shift, quietly, gently, almost unnoticed at first. The people who once filled your days will fade into the background. The noise that once demanded your attention will begin to feel distant, and in its place, you will start to hear something you've never truly heard before. Your own soul whispering, "Finally." Because when you focus on yourself, truly focus, the unnecessary begins to fall away. Your circle gets smaller, but your peace, it gets louder. Your goals stop running in circles and begin to walk in straight lines toward your destiny. Your life stops being chaos and starts becoming clarity. It's a painful peace at first, because when you start healing, you lose people who preferred you broken. When you start growing, you lose those who only loved your old roots. And when you start focusing on your purpose, you realize how much of your past was just noise disguised as companionship. America knows this pain too. It grew through revolutions, heartbreaks, and battles. It lost much to find itself again. That's what rebirth costs. The shedding of what no longer serves the dream. So don't fear the silence when it comes. Don't fear the loneliness that follows focus. Because solitude is not emptiness, it's refinement. It's where God sits with you, reshaping your thoughts, reminding you of who you are beneath the world's noise. The Stoics never begged to be understood. They never shouted for attention. They knew that true light needs no witness to shine. Marcus Aurelius ruled one of the greatest empires in history. Yet he wrote his greatest wisdom to himself, in silence, in private, with ink and soul. He didn't crave applause. He craved alignment. And when you reach that same place, you'll feel something sacred unfold. You'll stop explaining yourself to the world and start hearing God explain his purpose to you. You'll stop needing closure from people who broke you, because you'll realize peace was never something they could give. You'll stop waiting for opportunities, because you'll finally see that you are one. That's when everything starts falling into order. Not because the world suddenly became easy, but because you finally became steady. Your mind, once restless, learns to rest in truth. Your heart, once scattered, starts to find home in peace. Your future, once uncertain, begins to open like dawn after a long night. And that's when you'll understand that God never wanted you to control everything. He only wanted you to control yourself. Because when the inside is in order, the outside will eventually follow. America too rises and falls by this same principle. When its people lose focus, chaos reigns. But when they return to discipline, to faith, to purpose, the nation heals. And so will you. This is not just philosophy. It's the rhythm of the soul. It's how empires are built, within, before they are seen without. There's a reason eagles fly alone. There's a reason mountains stand apart. The highest forms of strength always walk in solitude before they lead the multitudes. And so when your circle becomes small, thank God. When your peace becomes loud, protect it. When your purpose becomes clear, honor it. Because focus is a sacred fire, and not everyone can stand near its heat. Some will misunderstand it. Some will envy it. Some will walk away from it. Let them. They were never meant to stand in the temple of your transformation. You, my friend, are being shaped into something greater. Every moment of silence is God chiseling away what no longer belongs. Every delay is divine redirection. Every ending is an unseen beginning. And when all the pieces finally fall into place, you will look back and realize nothing was random. Every heartbreak, every loss, every lonely night, they were all guiding you here, to this peace that no one can take, to this strength that no one can fake, to this order that no storm can shake. Because the truth is, the world doesn't need to change for your life to find balance. You just needed to remember who you are. You are the calm in the chaos, the light in the dark, the steady flame that burns while others flicker. So breathe, lift your head, and know this: everything is falling into order. Not because the world has changed, but because you have the new declaration. So write this truth across your heart, as America once wrote its declaration across parchment and fire. Because freedom, true freedom, does not begin with rebellion. It begins with focus. It begins with the quiet courage to say, I will no longer abandon myself for a world that cannot even find itself. This is your new revolution. Not fought with muskets or flags, but with discipline, stillness, and self-mastery. Every breath you take in peace is a declaration of independence. Every time you choose calm over chaos, you are rewriting your own constitution of the soul. Focus on yourself, not in selfishness, but in sacred responsibility. Because your peace is not just for you, it's for everyone who meets you. Your stillness is not weakness, it's leadership. And your inner empire, that invisible kingdom of thoughts and choices and grace, is the truest territory you will ever rule. Guard it, honor it, protect it like America once guarded her dreams. For every nation that has ever risen began first with an idea, and every soul that has ever transformed began first with focus. You were never meant to live divided within yourself. You were meant to live in union, heart and mind, purpose and action, peace and power. That's the truest United States there is, the union within. And when you live from that unity, you will start to see the world shift around you. Your relationships will soften. Your goals will clarify. Your path will straighten. Because order always begins within before it's seen without. Let this be your silent pledge. I will no longer chase what scatters me. I will no longer fight for what drains me. I will rise, steady, focused and whole. This is your new declaration. Signed not in ink, but in intention. Written not on paper, but on the walls of your heart. Because every time you choose discipline over distraction, every time you choose prayer over panic, every time you choose self-respect over self-doubt, you are proclaiming to heaven and earth, I am free. And that kind of freedom cannot be taken. It cannot be voted away, cancelled or conquered. It is eternal. America calls herself the land of the free, but the Stoic knows freedom is not found in the land. It is found in the soul. A man in chains can be free if his mind is still his own. A nation with riches can still be enslaved if its people are ruled by fear. So take back your crown, take back your calm, and take back the authority that was always yours, the authority to focus. Focus is your flag now. Discipline is your anthem. Peace is your revolution. And as you rise in silence, the world will notice. They will not understand at first why you smile without reason, why you move with certainty while others stumble. But deep down they will feel it, that something divine has taken residence within you, because you have remembered the forgotten truth. You are not chasing alignment, you are alignment. You are not seeking peace, you embody peace. You are not waiting for purpose, you are the purpose. And when that realization settles into your bones, when your spirit stops trembling and your heart stands still like a mountain at dawn, you will finally see it, the world bending, quietly, gently, beautifully, falling into order around you. So stand tall, lift your eyes like the flag that refuses to bow to the storm, and let the winds of life blow through you, not against you. For nothing can shake a soul that has remembered who it is. You are the calm this chaotic world is craving. You are the quiet victory in a generation addicted to noise. You are the steady hand on the wheel when everyone else is losing direction. And you are enough, exactly as you are. Please subscribe, like and share this message, so that others may rise with you in stillness, in strength, in freedom. Because this is more than a video. It's a rebirth, a resurrection of focus, a reminder that you, yes, you, are the revolution this world has been waiting for. Your rise begins now, in focus, in peace, in silence. And one day, when kings and nations look upon your life, they will understand that the greatest empire ever built was the one you built within,